The blue dragon led the way with scales that gleamed as bright as day. With treasure foretold and dreams of gold, we'll follow the dragon come what may.
That all brings us to why we chose Blue Camp and how how our characters got to Drachenfest. Each of the dragons summons heroes to fight for them. The blue dragon saw our plight. He knew of our essentially our slavery to this planeswalker, and our captivity and forced fighting for him. The blue dragon saw us and called us to him and essentially set us free.
For a short period
We heard his call and we traveled each through the mists to end up in the Drachenlands. And now each one of us gladly fights for the blue dragon because he at least offers a chance at freedom. We believe that if the blue dragon were to win the festival and gain the power of the dragons, that he would be able to at last break our bond with this planeswalker, that we may be finally free. Because as of right now, we are summoned to the Drachenlands. We're free for all intents and purposes, but at the end of the festival, we're sent back and are back to the daily grind of whatever this planeswalker wants us to do. So that's why we fight for the blue dragon. That's why we fight for freedom, and we hope to someday gain that.
Speaking of that, yeah, how is the game played?
Right, so Lieutenant Braddock on Breaking Character LARP goes into this, but we can as well. So each of the camps, it's this huge campground, Cooper's Lake. There's trees, there's fields, there's a giant hill.
There's a castle.
There's a castle structure. It's pretty cool. But each of the camps, their actual camps, have a select section of the campground. And each one has a wall and a gate out front. Each camp also has a banner. The objective of the game, essentially, is to collect points in the form of dragon eggs. I don't know why. But
You like talking with your hands.
yeah, it helps me think. And so you earn dragon...
I'm just thinking of that picture.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe we'll slide that
Maybe
in here.
we'll slide that in.
Wait, what picture?
An action shot of Idinian, Morthill, and Fengar right before a little bit of combat we had, and we were kind of figuring out what we were
And I'm
doing.
going like this with the band.
He was talking here.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Edgar's sitting right here. We haven't even talked about him at all.
You just remember he's sitting there?
Yeah. He's like the most important part of this.
Edgar, the most famous member of the Bad Hand.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh.
Yeah, nobody knows who we are. Everybody knows who Edgar is. That's
Yeah,
like...
you're probably sitting there like, why didn't they talk about Edgar? He's right here. We've seen him plastered all over the website.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. But let me finish my thought on how the game is played. So the game is won at the end of the fest. Like whoever has the most dragon eggs.
Yeah.
You earn dragon eggs by doing great feats of role play, like different events that happen. There's tournaments like the Fighters tournament, the Bard tournament. Like winners of that earn dragon eggs for their camps. But the most easiest and straightforward way to gain dragon eggs is through the war game, and that is played by the characters, the players, laying siege to each other's camps, assailing their gate with siege weapons and giant monsters, and knocking down their gates, defeating the defenders inside, and taking their banner. If they take their banner back to their camp and defend it overnight, in the morning, for each banner that is in your camp, you gain a dragon egg. So it really behooves each of the camps to lay siege, fight, and gain banners for dragon eggs. And there's a whole bunch of other things that can happen in between all that to gain dragon eggs as well.
And it's worth noting that, as with everything at Drachenfest, combat's completely optional. If you don't want to be involved in combat, you do not have to be involved in combat.
At all.
You can get, there's like a ribbon you can get if you're like a non-combatant or whatever.
Yeah,
basically, nobody's allowed to mess with
Nobody
you.
can get one.
Yeah, it's like an orange wristband or something.
And those typically go with like the healer roles.
A lot of people who are healers have those.
Yeah, a lot of like the shopkeepers up in town have them. The newspaper people have them.
Yeah.
But it's nice the amount of freedom that you can go back and forth. There's no specific. If you have to do this, you have to do this. You can mix and match, which is nice.
Well, I mean, that's the thing. So there are 5 dragon camps, and then there is essentially the neutral part for players who wish to not exactly take part in the war game directly, called the bazaar. The bazaar is essentially a town layout, town camp that has like a town guard and a couple taverns and a whole bunch of vendor shops and a lot of players. There are no NPCs in Drachenfest. There are only players. So all the players up in the bazaar just kind of like that town game. But also up there's like mercenaries that you can hire. There's the different guilds that you can join, which include the Fighters Guild, the Mages Guild, the Alchemist Guild, the guild that shall not be named, the Thieves Guild, and what am I?
Healers.
Surgeons Guild, right? And this year, the Crafters Guild, the Artisans Union.
Okay. And the peddlers are starting this year too, I think.
I don't
know if that's really.
I don't think they're an official guild yet, but we talked to some people that were forming a peddlers guild as well. But yeah, so a whole bunch of enterprises and the guilds are up there. The guilds are very useful. They're player-run organizations that teach players new skills that you can use in game. There's a shield breaker skill that you can use to break opponent's shields so they can't use them. There's healing skills that allow you to heal faster, magic skills that allow you to cast faster, and a whole bunch of others that you're gonna have to find out in game. There's so many. It's lots of do and see up in the bazaar. But where were we with all this? There was a tavern called the Broth Hall.
The best restaurant at Dragonfest. 10 out of 10.
It was a restaurant.
Yeah.
They sold soup. Yeah. That was their whole shtick. They sold soup.
It's good soup.
It was really
too.
good soup.
Yeah.
For a couple, and it's like cheaper if you bring your own bowl and silverware.
Yep.
We spent so much money.
that was probably because that was one thing. There really weren't a ton of places that took the in-game currency.
Yeah, there were like
Last
IRL
year?
vendors who came in, like Callum was selling.
Yeah, there were like the big vendors that take cash and credit or whatever, but there weren't a lot of like in-game enterprises that took the actual like dragon coins. Is that the official currency name? Do we know? Is it?
I think so.
I feel like Drakens is kind of like snappy.
Dragons.
Yeah,
Give me 5 dragons.
Yeah, but it's like copper, silver, and gold.
Yeah.
Those are the increments.
And it's classic D&D math: 10 coppers a silver, 10 silvers a gold.
Yep.
I never saw a gold coin last year. I've heard they exist, but apparently a lot of people haven't seen them.
I've
So
seen a couple.
you've seen a
I
couple. Well,
saw
yeah, you went off and were doing all that stuff. So
Well, I don't think there was a gold involved in that.
Yeah.
So somebody did stop at our camp and hand me 10 silver to give to our camp ref at some point.
For something.
Yeah, some kind of breach of protocol or whatever. They had to pay us back for something. But
We're all over the place with this. Too bad.
stream of consciousness. It's all
Exactly. We're just sitting here making necklaces
So
that we're gonna sell at this year's Drachenfest.
I had to take the money pouch out up when we were hiring mercenaries.
Oh, you went up there for that, yeah.
Well, I had to take the money pouch up there so they could actually pay.
A lot of coin was changing hand up there that night.
Yeah, we're making necklaces right now. They're little trinket charm necklaces. We will be selling these at the fest for a couple copper. So you should buy one.
or 2.
Or yeah, our entire stock.
Give them
That
to your
would be nice.
friends. Spread the word.
Yep. I was gonna say go buy coins for the fest, but I guess that sale will be over by the time this is up. So
Probably.
you missed your boat. Sorry.
Hope you did.
Because the way that the coins worked this past year was when you went and picked up, like, you get 3 copper coins right off the bat.
Right. Everybody does.
And you go out of the bank, you pick those up, you have the opportunity to buy more coins. I think they capped us at, like, what was the max you could get last year? It was like 6 silver and like 12 copper or something like that.
Which is a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, it was a decent amount of silver.
But
You
the
don't
problem
have
with
to get
that
any.
was the exchange place where you picked up those coins. They unfortunately ran out of physical coins, so a lot of players didn't get theirs.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And the coins are really just used for... there's really no value to them besides role play. So if you want to role play coming to our shop and buying a necklace, like that is fun game for everybody. But yeah, the coins are really just like tipping mechanisms. Like, because nobody can steal your coins in game. You're not allowed to. But like if you're going out at nighttime and you're going to one of the going on a quest at night and bandits hop out of the bush and mug you, they can't take anything off of you, but
They can take in-game items.
they can take in-game items.
But you can tip them like a coin.
But
that was pretty cool. Here,
Right.
take some of my coins.
Yeah, thanks for robbing me. Here's some money.
What,
Was a fun scene.
what's the saying? Tip your muggers.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
We've got mugged.
Yeah.
But you don't have to buy coins. I didn't buy any coins. I stuck with the 3, and I think I spent 2 to take a class with the Fighters Guild or something.
Right. Yeah, you gotta sign up for the classes and those.
And
yeah.
I learned Shield Break with my glaive.
Yeah.
But no, so I had like no copper, and like I was fine. Like I was just going around, and like people were like, "Oh, would you like this?" And they're like, "Well, I'll give you 1 because that's all I had left." Like, okay, that'll work. Knight, just run this for me to so and so. It's a little side quest, like money, like it's not a pay to win.
No,
Yeah.
not at all. And it's cool to have
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, who doesn't want a big, coin purse?
Coin perch
Jingling-
jangling on
jingling
your hip.
Yeah.
But,
Maybe that's just our inner blue camp
Sheriff
talking,
of
but
Nottingham.
that is
Nottingham.
yeah.
Sheriff of Nottingham.
Yeah.
Going around.